Hello and welcome to Reviews. Here we have the first issue of Marvel Comics Presents. Marvel Comics Presents number 1. Um, this is, if you were not aware, Marvel Comics Presents was an anthology series back in the late 80s, early mid 90s. Usually spotlighted Wolverine. He was the headliner most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. And then in the rest of the issue, you would have 3 other stories. Some of them were continuing storylines. Some of them were one and dones. You know, the Weapon X Barry Windsor Smith came from Marvel Comics Presents, and that was such a good storyline. But other characters, like characters that did not have a book at that time, like Cyclops or Havoc or Deathlock, would have storylines, running from issue to issue. And I want to say each story, in book, I want to say it was 8 pages long, but that would make this each issue 32 pages. So maybe it was only 6. I'd have to dig out an old issue. Um, and yeah, some of the stories were good. Some of them, there was a lot of one and dones. I remember a Human Torch Iceman storyline that was, it was only one issue, like 6, 8 pages, whatever. It was really dumb, but you would have these other good stories, and plus you had a lot of top talent at the time on the book. You know, say what you say what you will about Rob Liefeld, but he was, really really big at the time. You had Jim Lee, you had Sam Case. I'm never sure how you say his name. Keith, maybe Sam Case, but he did the Cyber story that introduced the character of Cyber. And anyway, I'm kind of nostalgic. Makes me want to dig out my long boxes to see if I still have those issues. If I had a flooding years ago and I lost a lot of stuff. So, um, but anyway, we returned to form in this. And I brought up the creators for a reason because it was also a chance to spotlight new talent. And I'll circle back around to that. So, in this issue, we have 3 stories. One continuing, the Wolverine is going to be a continuing story. It's the first part. And then we have 2 apparently one and dones. And I love this cover. Yeah, I love Art Adams' art. Sometimes people say it's stilted. I mean, this is his go-to Wolverine pose, but it works. And so, yeah, I'm not crazy about the line down here. It makes it look like the old Ultimate series. And um, I hate to say it, but I'm kind of glad the Stanley thing's gone. Um, so anyway, I'm actually going to skip the Wolverine story. It's Charles Soule. It's an interesting story involving demons that's going to take place. Each part's going to take place every 10 years. And this is the first part that explains how Wolverine got involved with this whole demon, how it all started. He still has his bone claws. He's still with the Canadian Army. It's good, but I'm going to skip it because the other 2 stories, the Namor one and the Captain America one, are pretty good. I'm going to flip ahead to this. This is by Craig Pack, art Tom Conker. Coker. And yeah, it's a very heavily inked, very, I guess you'd say realistic. And I'm going to go through this kind of quickly, I think. Um, this this story is good. So this takes place in 1945. Um, Namor goes to Atlantis. It's destroyed, and he's being called. And he tells them, leave him alone, leave me alone. Whatever happened down here is ancient history. We need you back on the surface in the here and now. I've killed 3,000 Axis soldiers for you, long man. I am tired of your age of massacre. And we find they got a deep sea diver down there. We're trying to stop the massacres ourselves. We've been fighting the Axis. They've killed more civilians than, but you started, Sawyer, with my own city years ago, and you continued it. Da da da. You can't compare. I don't care. I'm done. All you humans ever do is murder. Well then, that's exactly why we need you. The Germans are at it again. Hitler's dead. They surrendered months ago. Now remember, this takes place, does it give the actual Atlantis? Basically, this takes place in August. You'll find out why. And of course, Hitler died at the end of April. So yeah, he has been dead for months. That's your little bit of World War II history. We located a cell of Nazi scientists in Argentina. They're perfecting their rocket bombs. They could murder thousands, even millions. Every city on the surface could become another Atlantis. Then this is one of those things why you love comics. A giant World War II era robot powered by a giant brain. It, Argentina. It doesn't get much better than that. Um, so yeah, they fight. Stupid half breed. You walked into your doom, and Namor, of course. Your age of death is over. And the Nazi scientist says, "You really believe that? What do you think your friends are doing? What are you talking about? Ha! You don't really know." And Namor gets mad. "What are you talking about? Oh, you're a wild one. No wonder they sent you here instead of Japan." And yeah, we find out August 7th. And yeah, the first bomb at Hiroshima has been dropped. This is kind of a dark tale. I'm not going to lie. So we got a very, very upset Namor who comes back and, "You tricked me. No, you stopped the Nazis, prevented another atrocity, while you committed another. I didn't know what they were planning, not until they did it. Don't lie to me. I'm not lying. But I'll tell you this, I would make the same call. They're not going to surrender until, blah, blah, blah. You can tell that to the dead babies I saw there when you meet them in whatever afterlife you believe." I love the art on this. I mean, they really do a good dark Namor here. Who the hell are you to talk? You killed hundreds of Japanese soldiers with your bare hands. They begged for mercy. They were soldiers, and they just murdered thousands of civilians. But you're right, I never should have joined your world. It was never your choice, Namor. They call it a world war for a reason. No one gets to opt out. And the soldier tells Namor, "Look, it'll all be over soon. We're making a new world, and it'll be better. You'll see." "What are you talking about? Um, you'll get that world war," and then he realizes, "Wait, you've got another bomb." "What? No, not we with it." Namor flies off as the airship is dropping the bomb. I forget which one, Little Man or Big Boy. I forget which one was used on which, but anyway, they drop the bomb. Nagasaki, obviously. Namor tries to stop it, and it goes off. And then, of course, they're in the fallout here. Basically, a few weeks later. "What have you found, Fury? With all due respect, Sawyer, what the hell were you expecting? If Namor was with the bomb when it blew, he's dust and ash like everything else. Then, well then, so be it. Hell of a loss. In the tower. Towel. Yeah, count your blessings, soldier. If Namor was still in the fight, I'm not so sure he'd be on our side." Yeah, we got this. It's a very heavy story, and yeah, it's the end. I like this because it explains why you see Namor in with kind of the refugees, the memory loss he had before the Human Torch found him again in the early pages of the Fantastic Four. It explains why he had amnesia, and he got hit with a nuclear bomb. I'm not even sure Namor could survive that, but whatever. We don't actually see what happens here, but um, maybe he tried to stop it and it hit on the ground, and he was just out of the way. I don't know, but it explains that. And this reminds me, I want to come back. I've had this series I've been wanting to do in my mind. Um, uh, in my mind, I want to do it on YouTube about funny. I haven't come up with a name. Funny things I've noticed, and the first one is actually about Namor and the Human Torch. So maybe I'll do that here coming soon. I've been holding off on it, getting some of the ones I want to do, and I want to start it off with that one. I just haven't come up with a title for it. So this has actually inspired me to do that kind of little spin-off thing. So anyway, the last story is a Captain America story. Written by Anicetti, penciler by Greg. I trace porn land. Oh, I love Anicetti. And so we'll do this one kind of quickly here. It's a nice human story of Cap, um, racing away from whatever thing that he and Iron Man have defeated. He's racing from the explosion, and this girl sees him. Sweet, the Avengers are here, right in our neck of the woods. So she's on her bike while Cap is, out racing a fireball, and she's basically trying to imitate his moves. He's doing a double lean slide, and Cap's doing a counter lean. I could do that. And, the entire time Iron Man's trying to tell him to he's going to send a jet to pick him up. So while Cap is doing the lean, she crashes. And, send a jet to pick you up. Skip it. I'll ride home. And what does she do? After she face first, she gets right back up. And she keeps riding. So, you're an Avenger. You just saved the world. I'm sending a jet. And Iron Man's got this little camera bot following. And he's like, and Cap's telling him to get the spy bot out of his face. And yes, I know how you think smart safety measures invade your precious privacy. And he also says, uh-oh, look at that face. Unabashed hero worship. She's going to start a cult. So, she introduces herself. Hi, I'm Kelly. That's Iron Man you're talking to, right? I saw him up there. And Cap is blowing a tire. And, Cap takes the spy cam, throws it up, and hits it with his shield and destroys it like a skeet. Although, Iron Man's, right there. Okay. You know what, Stark? Sometimes I like to travel the same way and same roads my fellow countrymen do. You wouldn't get it. So we go back to this girl. I saw you wipe out trying that counterweight lean. You like taking risks? Only time I feel alive. No risk, you might as well be dead. You gonna ride that rim? Just to the nearest tire store. That's miles away, you'll wreck it. I got a welder and lots of old tires in the yard. It'd be an honor to help hatch your ride. We got goofy face Cap. Let me do something for you in trade? Okay, you see this look? You see this look, Greg? You see this? Yeah, that's how porn movies start, okay? Okay? And that's how they look. Fix my dirt bike? It's been broke for months. So Cap agrees to go back to her home, fix her dirt bike in return for patching his tire. Mom ain't home. Lucky us. So while Cap is welding her bike, you work fast. Hey, you ever get scared? Sure. Do you? Not when I'm doing stunts. The rest of the time, normal life, that's scary. I can't seem to get it right. Speaking of always right, my mom's home. What the heck do you think you're doing here? Fixing Kelly's ride. I promised her. Yeah, she tells off Captain America. You gotta like that. Forget the bike. We're waiting for an expensive part. Coming in the mail. Waiting for months, Mom. I've been under rotten pipe all day. I'm dead tired. I'm going to crawl back under that mess again tomorrow. I got no time for your nonsense. Mr. America, or whatever the heck you call yourself, finish up and get out. So the next morning, dawn, Cap gets the bike fixed. Where's Kelly? I fixed her bike. Didn't need an expensive part. Why did you tell her it did? Let me show you something, hotshot. And he leads her in. She leads him in. She lives in the dreams of wallpaper of hero worship. Basically, she wants to, get out, be a stunt rider. And kids around here are just aching to get the heck out of here with a football scholarship or racing money. And that means all of us moms live in fear of broken bones. I get you have all that world saving. You glow so bright you hurt my eyes. I'm a plumber. I can fix any leak, fix any pipe. But when my girl gets smashed, Cap looks at her diagrams. I'll talk to her. And so he catches up with her at the jump she's about to do. Don't you dare stop me. Your setup looks good. Trajectory height works. You've taken safety precautions with those tires. They'll soften the blow of a fall. What blow? I ain't gonna fall. Cap then asks, can I ride with you? That's why Cap is so great, He treats people with respect. If you can keep up, of course they make the jump, and the mom comes out, and here comes my mom. She wants to keep me like a doll on a shelf in a cage, unbreakable. And I get that, Kelly, but maybe let her in a little. Show her how you make sure your jumps are safe. And of course, she's mad. That's her first big stunt. There will be more. Will you be around for the next one? I hear you, but she is who she is. Let her be that. And don't forget what I told you, Kelly. And I've got my eye on you. Kind of creepy, but that's a good. That one was actually good. I really like that one. I like Cap when he's interacting with regular people. Not the super. I mean, Cap, they're always saying he's an inspiration. He's an everyman. And when he's doing stuff like that, that's when he shines. And it's a good story. I like this. But of course, it's Ann Nessetti. She's a good writer. And yeah, there's the whole, hero worship. But Cap treats her with respect. And that's why Cap is so great. Now, I understand this is the first issue. And I like this issue. I really, really liked it. I'm giving it a full, 12 o'clock here. The two one and dones, and it's also, the Namor story is really dark. And so, World War, and then we go to this more humanized, this one-on-one. It's a good balance. It really is. But this kind of highlights a problem that we have with Marvel Comics. So we have Charles Soule writing the Wolverine story. Okay. We have Greg Pak writing the Namor story, another good writer. We have Ann Nessetti, another great writer. Ann Nessetti should be doing her own book. It shouldn't be Mariko Tamaki. It shouldn't be got the Riri Williams issue here, and I don't remember the artist's name. Oh crap! I just realized I bought the wrong issue. Anyway, they should be using this book, an anthology book. Have a good writer on the main story, maybe the first two stories, and then the new writers, the ones you want to bring in, have them do an 8-page story. Although each story in this book is 10 pages. That's why we only have 3 stories, as opposed to Marvel Comics Presents the first volume, which had 4 stories per book. Give the good writers their own books. Maybe this is a choice. Maybe Ann Nessetti, she's been working for Marvel. She's done stories for so long. Maybe she doesn't want to put up with it, but give her own book. Put these new writers, the ones that the ones that you want to kind of showcase I know you're saying my diversity or whatever, but have them start out in the anthology writing 8-page stories, 10-page stories. Let them basically, get their feet wet that way. And then you start to hear people are starting to shovel out from under the storm here. So, have them start getting their the practice. Have them work on smaller stories. Don't just give them their own books. You have talented writers, good writers, hit writers with experience. Let them have their own books. Give the new writers anthologies, and that's the problem. They're not going to do that because it looks better when they have, a black woman have her own book as opposed to Ann Nessetti, a white woman having a backup story. I get that. I know they go for the virtue signaling and the diversity points. It's annoying, especially when you see something as good as this, and he's like, I want to see Ann Nessetti write a monthly again. It doesn't have to be Daredevil. It could be, give her another long shot series. Put her on New Mutants. Make a new Mutants book with Ann Nessetti. Anyway, I'm done. This was a thick book, 30 pages, worth it. It's $5, but it is 30 pages, and you do get the Wolverine ongoing, which I skipped. Mostly for copyright reasons. And but the other two stories are really, really good. So check it out. I'm giving it full 12 o'clock. Anyway, I got more videos coming up, so stay tuned, and I will see you next time.